Today is interesting actually. I didn't really trade for the past days. We were really range bound behavior. Today we actually fucking exploded. But Euro, it's an interesting idea here. We kept respecting supplies. As we see on the highs here, we kept respecting supplies. So this is a bearish order flow sign. We did have bearish structure here, so that's why I was initially looking at some bearish signs. We had this 1 hour FVG which price came into in London, and now we came again into the 1 hour FVG and we failed, right? Failure plus displacement is signaling that we're very likely to go lower, especially towards this low, because we did have an FVG here which we didn't really take. We just created more sell side. So this is overall my target. Here we see on the 5 minute, okay, this actually looks pretty good. Oh, we get kind of perfect hour. I might actually take this. If we close pretty decently here, I'm down to just take it like this and target this low. To be honest, like this failure swing looks good to me. I'm not sure though if I want to trade this. Displacement lags on the 3 minute. We only have this bit of anxiety. I think it's a forced trade, but this DXY gonna go bullish. Yeah, we did sweep this low. To be honest, it's a bit too early to try and enter, to be honest. Or when I generally hesitate, I hesitate for a reason. We do have an inverse, but look at the 3 minute displacement leg, right? We only have this really small gap. When we get another inversion here, that would be a really strong sign for me to actually take this trade. And if this goes to stop loss, you see me avoid a forced trade. What I did before a lot of times in this break-even journey is forced trades, right? Because now I want to trade. I haven't traded for 1 week, 2 weeks, right? I haven't traded and I want to trade. I want to participate in the market. If I would have let that feeling take over, it would have pushed me into this loser trade. But if I would have been emotional, if I would have been focused on the results and on the fact that I want to trade, I want to pass as fast as possible, I would have forced this trade, which was an unnecessary loss. This is what you need to do to go from break even to profitable. Avoid unnecessary losses, and this is exactly the definition of an unnecessary loss, right? A way to tell that your intuition is against a certain trade is when you feel a negative feeling. You feel like a pressure, like an anxiety. Feeling is the language of intuition. Intuition is gonna tell you if a trade is bad through feeling, through a negative feeling inside you. You're gonna feel hesitant, you're gonna feel itchy. That's a signal that you should not take the trade. When you take a good trade, that intuition validates and that intuition approves of being a good trade, you're gonna feel relaxed, you're gonna feel at ease. What I do normally, unless I see a really clean setup, is wait for price to leave either up or either down. Choose a direction, see some really clear order flow, then I'm gonna start trading. For now, it's just about being patient. For me, this is a fully valid trade. It's a New York reversal. I trade this scenario a lot. When we look at our entry pattern, it's valid. We had a liquidity rate on the highs, 1 hour FVG. We have really strong market structure shift here. Inverse, this is technically, it's textbook, right? But why is it forced? Well, displacement. This is not usually a good entry pattern. The entry pattern was forced, right? It was a forced move lower. Buyers were keep fighting here and sellers were just pushing them lower. A good displacement happens when we just melt completely, form a gap here. That's a good displacement. This is forced because of prices being balanced. Does this make sense? Don't let emotions dictate your decisions. When you force a trade, it's obviously because of emotion. It's because you want to make money. It's because you want to pass the eval. It's because you want to get a payout. It's because you're tired, you're frustrated. So all four trades are always happening because of you having some emotions. It's counterintuitive to human nature to not care about making money. But this is why trading requires you to rewire your brain. So what we gotta do to not force trades anymore is rewire our brain to look at the situation in a different perspective. How do we look at scenarios like this? We do not focus on the results. We put our focus on taking the best trades. We just look at our process, okay? Are we sticking to our rules? Yes. So our focus should be on taking the best trades, not making the most amounts of money. You cannot ever make money in trading if you care about the money. This is why it's counterintuitive. It's against human nature. You cannot make money in trading if you care about money. You cannot make money in trading if you care about money. If you care about money, you're gonna force trades. Does this make sense? Most of us have an edge, right? Our problem is not our edge. Like many of us have a profitable edge. Even a stochastic indicator, and even an MSI crossover is profitable. Even a support and resistance, even a breakout breakout pattern is profitable. The problem is not the strategy, so the problem is our mindset. We're not born focused on the process. It's a habit, a mindset that we gotta develop as traders with time going on, and it's a necessity, because if we don't develop this, we will not ever be profitable. Never, never, never. This is a reflection of my mindset. This was when I was focused on the process. This was when I was focused on the results. It's that simple. You cannot stop forcing trades if you do not change how you think. You get what I mean? You cannot stop forcing trades if you do not change how you think. Mindset. What is your mind set on? Is your mind set on the process, or is your mind set on the result? The result of the trade is not for you to control. You cannot control the results of the trade. What you can control is what trades you enter and when are you going to click buy and when are you going to click sell. And today you saw me control and stop right when I was about to click sell on a forced trade. So I hope this was at least a little bit useful for you. Stop forcing trades. Remember, mindset. What is your mind set on? Is it on the process or is it on the results? You cannot make money in trading if you're focused on the money. You cannot make money in trading if you care about money.